What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Smoking Tire Podcast. This episode of the podcast brought to you by Continental Belts and Hoses. You know, when you're under the hood, have you ever noticed how often you see Continental belts? The answer is, or should be, all the time. There's a reason for that. Continental is one of the world's largest original equipment suppliers for the automotive industry. Automakers around the world insist on Continental for original equipment belts. In the U.S., all the big three, BMW, Volkswagen, over 30% of all new vehicles sold in North America. You know what that says? It says Continental knows OE because they are OE. Continental's OE Technology Series multi-V belts for the automotive aftermarket are precision engineered for perfect fit, form, and function with the true OE pedigree. They're the belts engines already know, so you can confidently spec Continental's multi-V belts in your car. There's one for 98% of vehicles on the road today. You might not know it, but Continental is also a leader in automotive technology, electronic components for things like autonomous driving and accident-free zones. That focus on innovation is in every product they make, including OE Technology Series aftermarket belts. Check them out. Oh, man, we also have a new partnership with BlipShift. You've probably heard of them. They make automotive T-shirts. They do these quick sales. It's a great company to work with, great group of people. We're so happy to have them as our official merchandise provider. And we're going to be doing a new shirt with them every month. Last month, was the California wildfire shirt to benefit the California Fire Foundation, dealing with those horrible fires here in California. We were able to raise over $15,000. We gave all the money to the California Fire Foundation. We took none for ourselves, which was a great thing. And I hope you guys all have your shirts by now. And I hope you're all enjoying your shirts by now. Our next shirt is out in the store right now until for 2 weeks, December 10th through December 24th. It's a safari shirt. It's my 911 Safari dashing through the snow, flying through the air. It's a really cool shirt. I love the design. We're super stoked on it. Go to thesmokingtire.com and click on the store tab. That will take you straight there, or you can find it directly at BlipShift. But the easiest way is just go to thesmokingtire.com and click on the store tab at the top and get yourself this really cool 911 Safari shirt over by BlipShift. It is badass. I'm all about it. All right, on this episode of the show, Micah Spinelli is in the studio. Mr. Spinelli is one of my oldest automotive colleagues, and I don't mean that we've been working together the longest. I mean, he's literally the oldest. He's about to be 50. But he looks good. He looks real good. It's a pleasure to have him in studio. He's promoting, Drive on NBCSports, of course, and the new things happening at The Drive. And also, we just bullshitting about stuff. Mike Spinelli, the OG, in studio on the Smoking Tire Podcast. And that's the Smoking Tire Podcast. This is where we start.
Great.
It's fucking 7:59 p.m. We said we were going to start at 8. Go fuck yourself. You're all a minute late.
Oh, man. I love it.
Mike Spizzoli in his house.
Oh, man. Great to be here again.
Cheers.
Cheers.
We just finished some sushi and some sake up the road.
Now we're having Lieberman drinks.
Well, Zach's driving me home, so I don't give a fuck. I came from the airport. I had a long day.
I'm staying
you come from the airport
downtown.
Too? You fly in today?
No, I flew in. What day is today? Monday?
Tuesday.
I flew in yesterday. I don't know what.
Approaching that 5-0, you fucking can't remember shit anymore.
That's true. I can't remember shit.
Don't know the time, don't know the day.
No, but also I was in the hotel room writing and doing a bunch of crap today instead of enjoying the beautiful fucking LA sunshine, which I should be doing. Because when I go home, it's going to be 0 degrees in.
I go there tomorrow and it's 6.
What?
It's 6 degrees right now.
Where are you going?
To New York.
I'm going to New York.
Really?
Yeah.
Isn't he going to do a thing with you?
No, I go to a Tangent meeting.
I thought it was an NBC Sports thing.
That's next week.
6 degrees. It's 6 degrees. 6 degrees of separation.
I am not there. It's LA Auto Show this week. A lot of folks have invited me to a lot of things that I'm not doing a single one of. Not one. I'm not doing a single LA Auto Show activity this week. No.
I mean, they started on Monday, right? The press days are Wednesday and Thursday.
There's a Porsche party happening right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it the 911?
Yeah, it's the new 911.
New 911.
I saw it on fucking Instagram. What are you gonna go for? I'm not trying to shit on them. I'm sure they invited you as well, right?
Yeah, but I mean, see, the thing about doing all this stuff is that I come to LA, and then every single night you have to like ball around like you're like I don't know, the lifestyle thing of the journalist pretending to be like into like the clubber.
I heard there's shrimp here.
What am I saying? Anyway,
I know what you mean. They want you to go to all these parties.
Yes,
they rent out clubs. They rent out cool places.
It gets too fucking cool.
It's actually real sceney.
Right. It just feels so sceney. It feels like everywhere you go was designed by like the same amazing architect.
Yeah, they have it's like a craft cocktail by this guy, and DJ spins a lot, whatever.
Exactly. But you're right. Everything is so stage managed that you kind of forget the reason why you're there, and like at the end of the night or the next day, like you do have to do work, and so you kind of I'm having a some kind of what was it? The mojito, the blackberry mojito made by
this blackberry mojito is inspired by the Rolls-Royce Cullinan.
Exactly.
Right.
It's got a lot of junk in the trunk.
Speaking of smooth,
this
mojito is just like the ride in the new Cullinan.
Yeah, I'm doing a lot of podcasting this week. I got a bunch of shows we're recording. That's what we're doing for the auto show.
Well, it's cool because everybody's in town.
Yeah,
right?
And, they come here and they're going to come through the fucking studio and then we have Radwood this weekend. People are coming in, like the people, present company excluded, pretty much most of the people that are coming to LA in the next week are coming for Radwood. And I'm so...
Right.
There's a big Jalopnik contingent coming, and Musto's coming down with his 928, and all those people are... Radwood LA is a big one.
Well, all right.
It's a big show.
I mean, I'm behind Radwood. I mean, the problem is that at my... And I can't really... Because Musto and I are sort of close in age. I'm actually older than him.
So funny that you're older than him. He looks like Santa Claus. And I think you're winning... Actually,
I get a lot of traction with the hair.
His wife exists. Besides that, for those who don't know the backstory,
here we go.
Spinelli has been in an alleged relationship for 12 years, 10 years.
No,
how many years is
longer? It? Yeah, in the 20s.
In the 20s?
Yeah.
Okay, when I shit you not, I'm kidding. Nobody. Nobody. Not me, not Zach, not JF. Nobody has ever met Spinelli's spouse.
It would be a great, like, I met her in summer camp in Canada or whatever, but like I foisted her on this lifestyle of being a sort of being having to travel a lot and being in front of the camera and doing other shit. She just wants to be left the fuck alone. Right? And that's
never, not a once. I invited both of you to my wedding.
I know.
I was like, when we wrote out the list, I was like, this is going to be the one. This is going to be the one when we decide.
It could happen. The problem is that because of my advanced age, we may have some very important thing to do in another part of the world.
Spinelli's going to be the big 5-0.
Yeah.
Big fucking 5-0.
Yeah, it's kind of whatever.
How old is Musto? Is he 47?
He's like, I think I'm 3 years older than him.
And what's Alex?
Alex is, I might be 3 years older than him too. I think Alex and Musto are the same age.
46 maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, what the fuck, right?
I don't care. I just think it's funny because you look so young and virile. Oh, the cop's coming by.
Oh boy. Yeah, no, it's clean living.
One day we are going to find out if Babs is real. One day.
One of these days.
Mike looks like he's on vacation from boot camp in like 74.
What if Oh, is it the hair?
Yeah, the hair.
All right, no.
The hair and then the plaid.
So I did. All right. Well, I mean, we'll talk about cars in a minute, but like when I come to LA, the first thing I do is I go and get a haircut. I don't know why.
Do you have a barbershop that you like here?
Angelo's in downtown
Seriously?
LA. Yeah.
How long have you been going there?
Just once. Just today. No, but last time I went somewhere else. I don't
He met his
remember where it
wife
was.
there.
St. Vincent maybe
Yelp?
last time. There were a couple of them in downtown LA, and I'm always staying down there, so it's so easy to get a haircut in downtown LA. You just kind of swing
That's so funny.
It's wacky. So anyway, I wore the. I'm back into. I'm wearing plaid again.
You're back into plaid?
Back
it's coming
into
around because
flannel. Yeah.
it's 15 years is the cycle, right? So 92, 93 to now.
Yeah, that's about right.
I mean, if you opened the buttons there, you'd pretty much be Eddie Vedder.
Right, exactly. No, it's true. I mean, listen, I wore this then.
Meanwhile, Zach and I are in an REI catalog.
I know, what the fuck?
Right. No.
North Face?
I have 5 button-up shirts that are not dress-up. 4 are red plaid shirts.
I mean, listen,
That's true. You're the Jay Leno of podcast
I am,
producers.
Because I realize I buy clothes separately. I don't think about what I have.
Yeah.
So I go, I like that. And I looked at my closet and I went, they're all red.
Now I know why I like that.
nothing matches. No, but I'm with you. Like it's so weird because so many guys our age or even like mostly younger actually are so fucking natty. Like they're so good at dressing. Like you know what I mean? Like you know the guys we hang out with, and some of them are.
Nino is like Nino's like a trendsetter.
Exactly. It's like Nino's like a fucking golden god, right? But you turn around like I can't. I buy a shirt and then I buy a pair of pants. They don't match. Like I should have bought them together.
You don't step back and consider the outfit?
I never consider anything.
You want to hear what's fucked up? Hannah gives me shit for saying that I'm too well dressed. Me, I am well dressed.
You're pretty. You match.
Are you talking about?
No, but you match.
You got some stuff.
I have like
things.
6 different T-shirt hoodies.
Right.
That's pretty much my whole winter wardrobe is T-shirt hoodies.
I just bought the fucking. Oh my god! Wait, I just bought the best fucking hoodie. It's a zipper down, so I don't know if that counts as a hoodie, but it's
still
got
a
a
hoodie.
hood.
Does it have a hood?
Yeah,
it's a hoodie.
I went to, I was on Instagram. I was probably reading some shit you did or you, and I got a link to Huckberry. You ever go to Huckberry?
Yeah, I know what that is.
It's not Huckleberry. Like
it's
It's Huckberry.
I think that's one of those fake catalogs.
It could be. I don't even know who the fuck are these people.
I think there's some fake companies that basically aggregate shit from Chinese factories and create a brand and a fashion a photo shoot.
It's very possible.
Like I got one that was called Carbon 2 Cobalt. And I bought something from them, and then all of a sudden I started getting all these other catalogs that were the same shit rearranged into different orders, and it was like Huckberry or like Brimstone.
Right. Well, it's like everybody's got some cool ass brand now.
Right.
It's like
hashtag branding, and then just fucking make the shit in China, and what's the difference?
Well, except though that I took the plunge and I ordered this they said it was the 10-year hoodie. Like
it's a little presumptuous, I think.
Well, I'm serious, but I've been looking for that. Like back in my day, back in the '80s, like you could get a Champion hoodie that was like super high quality. Like the material was amazing, and I haven't been able to find anything like that.
You know, Champion's still around.
Yeah, I know, but even the ones that are expensive from Champion, like they're not the way they used to be.
I bet they used to be made in America, and now they're made in fucking China.
Anyway, the Huckberry one is as close. And honestly, this is not a paid thing. I paid for my own money.
If you were sneaking a fucking Huckberry plug-in right now, I would have more respect for you. I'd be like, wow, he managed to fucking fully editorialize an ad in our show and just didn't even say shit about it.
That
I was
would
like,
be amazing.
Spinelli became gangsters with that haircut.
Well, that's right.
There was a podcast I listened to about how to start a fake watch company.
Oh,
and it was basically what we were talking about, like a fake brand. And they had YouTube audio of a guy who's like, today I'm going to show you how to start a Squarespace website and make up a fake watch, like a watch company.
And you sell shit on Alibaba based from Alibaba.
You sell like dollar watches for $50,
right?
Or like whatever they are. And
minimalist.
I'm sure it's the same as the clothing thing.
I'm
totally.
Except, I mean, no, this hoodie, I left it back at the hotel, but I should have brought it because it was. No, but you're right. I mean, you can do anything. I'm more excited about this hoodie
sweatshirt before your wife.
Well, dude, you know Movement Watches.
You guys want to meet my sweatshirt?
Movement Watches did that basically, and they advertised with us like they did.
They don't use any vowels, so I don't.
Yeah, right. So. They sold to fucking Bulgari for
what?
You want to know how much?
$100.
$400 million.
I think, and can you maybe Google this, but I think it was $8 billion.
What?
I'm not. Was it 8 billion? Is that right?
Billion?
Was it 8 million? No. How many? Movement sold to Bulgari for how much? MVMT. Acquire. Does it say?
100 million?
Is it $100 million?
100 million before tax benefits.
Yeah, $100 million.
Oh, before Ibiza? What is it called?
EBITDA. Yeah, $100 million. I'm sorry, I don't know where I got my 8 billion from. It's $100 million. Yeah,
I mean that's a shitload for a kind of a
crazy.
Like a
for a company that's selling
company. Yeah.
Paper watches.
Paper watches. Pretty much.
They look like.
Hey, that's a great
they look
picture of
nice,
me.
but-
That's the best
You and
picture
the
of me.
singer.
I look not fat, which is amazing.
From Drive on NBC Sports.
Wow.
That's a lovely video.
By the way, the shot right before this, and honestly, like I'm
You do look
so
svelte in this
right,
picture.
Look at that, because I'm holding it in. I was wearing Spanx, I think, for this. I'm so fucking self-conscious now. I've been running again. By the way, you look fantastic.
Thank you. I upped my cardio by a lot.
Did you?
Yeah, and started taking supplements.
Oh.
I never was into supplements before. Now I'm into supplements. I'm not into them, but I started taking them.
Yeah.
And I'm doing 60 minutes of cardio a day.
Wow.
7 days a week.
Every day.
Yeah.
All right,
It takes a lot of fucking time to do that.
It does. It takes 60 fucking minutes every day.
Well, plus you got to cool down and then you got to shower and all this, so it's really
I
like
know.
90 minutes.
So I've been trying to do about that, like 5 miles on the treadmill.
That's a bunch.
3 days. I haven't gotten to 5 days yet, so I got to work up to 7.
Yeah, if you have a little bit less of a life like me, then it helps.
I don't know. The problem is I have that long ass commute out to Brooklyn.
Oh yeah.
So
that's fucking.
Oh
my god. I have an extra 90 minutes in my day that
Right.
you don't have. That's a problem.
No, but seriously, you have an extra 3 hours that I don't have because it's 90 minutes both each way.
Bro, that's horrible.
Yeah. So
that's horrible. 90
Yeah.
minutes each way to go to a fucking job, bro. Oh my god.
Yeah, man.
Most of Manhattan,
Fucking
right?
job.
Sucks balls. Who's
No,
in Brooklyn?
Yeah, man.
No, I happen to live. I live in the worst part of the area to get to the place where I actually work. Right?
Is New Row the hardest place to go from to Brooklyn?
Anywhere across the Bronx, right? So I mean, I live in the back end of New Row, which is it's New Rochelle. We call it New Row, but it's whatever. But you're from. Yeah, I mean, you know Westchester.
I know how it goes. So you Metro North into the city.
So on the days that I don't drive,
Right.
Metro North into the city, and then the 6 train to the N train, and the subways alone are 45 minutes. The train is 45 minutes. Yeah, I mean by the time you're done,
like 3 40-minute legs.
Yeah.
That sucks.
No.
Balls.
Two 45-minute legs.
Wow, that sucks.
And it's a pain in the ass. When you drive though, if you leave early enough, I mean this is like the thing is, it's changed my perspective on cars, and maybe living in LA is kind of maybe similar.
Totally changed my perspective on cars.
Yeah. I mean, I get why people buy things like Lexus SUVs, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like this is the car that isolates you from all the fucking bullshit that you have to deal with.
Yeah, Tesla. If you sit in traffic all day, like a Tesla makes a lot of sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When I had the Volt, dude, the Volt was the greatest for LA. It was quiet.
Oh, R.I.P. Volt.
You just glided across. What?
No, I tried to do an R.I.P.
Volt.
But
Yeah, they're killing the Volt. That's fucking dumb.
yeah.
I mean, I'm not looking at their numbers, but like, not ever marketed well enough. Like, it's just that's such a great car for like what today's urban driving environment is.
It's the perfect car for LA.
Yeah.
It would be the perfect car for me because I probably would never have to buy gas at all.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, that's the way.
You don't buy gas, and you actually the time you spend in the car is more refined and serene, and it's lovely.
Yeah.
It's absolutely lovely.
Well, do you like riding the train because then you can read in the train? Like, I feel like driving 90 minutes every day, I'm losing 90 minutes truly. Like, I can't catch up on auto news or anything else.
Yeah.
So you can at least do that.
So I could at least do that. The problem is that I've lost all my fucking discipline. So now I just play bricks and balls like for the entire.
Yeah.
By the way, have you played that
No. that
app? Oh my god, bricks,
time.
balls and bricks, or bricks and balls, where you pull you.
Is that Angry Birds but with bricks?
Basically you're shooting. I don't know. There are these bricks, and the bricks have different values that number of times the balls have to hit them.
Yeah.
No, really, it's the most addictive fucking game I've ever. Honestly, it's like it's ruining my my
is
life.
it like Angry Birds? It's trajectory, but now with rebounds.
It's a trajectory
yeah, it's very
game.
fulfilling. It
is.
Yeah. It's the game theory of like reward, right?
It's a
Our
total.
brains love that shit.
It's honestly like it's as if psychologists created it just to be addicted to.
I'll bet you $1 million they did because they probably got paid
if
for
they
that.
didn't, they at least employed some psychologists to make it more addictive.
Oh yeah,
absolutely, and that's why the world is fucked. Because we're fucked. I mean,
that's why you see
just,
adults playing Candy Crush. Like this is
not.
That's
the thing.
This doesn't look anything like an adult's video game. You have all the options in the world. It's just people going like this, swiping.
Hannah has a bit of a problem with that one.
Oh,
she really does.
I could see it. I mean, that's the way it. Anyway, but so
yeah, that commute sucks.
So
balls.
the commute sucks balls. But I understand cars from the perspective of somebody who you know is using it as a way to be comfortable in the world.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, that's a totally different thing than what we've ever done, right? I mean, you've got comfortable cars, and I have the Jag.
Well, we have both extremes. In LA,
exactly.
LA is a 2-car town.
Yeah.
You have your isolated egg, and then you have your super engaging, hyper aware, weekend car.
Right. And so I think it's made me more conscious of representing, as a journalist, representing people who actually buy cars.
Right, but unfortunately, a lot of those cars are dull.
Yes.
It's like my Volt, I loved. I made a couple videos about it. Fucking nobody cared. Nobody watched them. Everyone was like, "What is this stupid thing? I don't give a shit." And I was like, "No, you don't understand. This is the best thing ever. I love cars, and this is great."
Right.
And they're like, "Yeah, go back to a car that makes your spine fall apart, please. Could you do that?" Like, because I don't like the idea of you being comfortable and enjoying traffic. I'd really prefer you to be miserable and fucking, polluting the world, and have a spine crushing, hard suspension in your daily life. Yeah.
Sport Plus.
Yeah.
And that's why
I have the Safari 911. This is for city.
So we got, God, I feel like I'm on, but I want to talk about your cars. Have you talked like a shitload about the Countach lately?
Well, I mean, I imagine there's people are going to be expecting an update because it broke over the weekend.
Right.
So we can discuss that if you'd like.
Okay. So because I drove a downdraft.
You drove the one in Miami.
Yeah, I drove the one in Miami.
Yeah.
And by the way, I was expecting to kind of hate it, but love to hate it a bit. I just loved it. And, I'm wondering if
people say they don't
you.
drive well, and they're idiots.
No, they drive.
Because they drive really, really well. Yeah. The ride is beautiful. The power is great. The steering is great. Like everything about how it drives is great.
Yeah, and if they're sorted out, they're such good cars.
You want to blow your mind?
Yeah, it did actually. I also melted because the air conditioning stopped working.
My air conditioning works perfectly. Yeah. No, mine's ice fucking cold, dude. My shit is freezing cold.
And it's original equipment.
Yeah. I actually have to turn it like I cycle it on and off because after a while I'm like, whoa, it's like chilly in here.
What do you
it
have,
gets
like
cold.
Bootleg Freon? Like
it might still be R12. I don't actually know. I don't know. I didn't ask. I don't want to know. Plausible deniability.
Wow.
But it works and it blows ice cold. Yeah.
What year is it?
88.
Oh yeah.
It's not a downdraft. It's an injected car.
But it's a U.S. car originally, or is
it's a U.S. car, but it is
the bumper delete.
It's full bumper delete. Yep. And it's it has some other little it has a Permatune update, which is the updated ignition box. It's an aftermarket ignition box that makes it run better on 91 octane. Incidentally, I think that may have crapped out, and that's why it broke. So I had like 4 great days with it. And I mean, it was more than that, but like 4 great drives with it. I drove it on Thanksgiving. The roads were empty, and it was absolutely lovely. I was driving at the PCH the other day, and it just shut off at 80 miles an hour.
God. Wait, shut off? Just
off.
Off.
Like driving off.
Okay.
Like it was off. And I was going like 80 and realized what had happened, and I managed to be able to coast it to a really nice. You'll see. There's a picture on my Instagram of where I actually came to a stop.
By the way, I love the red with the gold wheels.
It's just the fucking best. The colors that go up. So yeah, I came to a nice wide
Turn on. And that black Audi there in front of me was the first of about a dozen people that wanted to stop and take pictures of the car, which, when your car is broken and everyone's like, you have two options. You could pretend like you just pulled over to make a phone call.
Right. By the way,
I can't pretend very well, so I was just like, I hate all of you. Fuck off. Like, go away. Like fans, some fans, I sat inside the road for like 90 minutes waiting for a fucking truck. Oh, no. So a bunch of fans saw this picture and then came out. They're like, oh, he's going to be there. And fucking came out.
Hey, let's go see Matt. Matt's on the side of the road.
Yeah, and I was not in a good mood.
Oh, man. Well, yeah, because, that's in any other world in which nobody knew who you were, being stuck on the side of the road just sucks.
Just sucks.
Yeah.
But when you're in a very flashy car that has a reputation for being not reliable, they kind of want to rub it in and they kind of want to admire it. But also, like, in fairness, I had just done 60 minutes of cardio and I was on the way to Bill's to get lunch. Okay. And so I was like depleted of energy. No. I hadn't eaten. I didn't want to put on sunscreen because I didn't want to get sunscreen all over the fucking leather in the car.
No.
So I didn't put any sunscreen on. And so I'm just sitting out there like baking, tired, hungry, and just getting progressively angrier. And as it turns out, the issue with the car is very small. It actually, like, when the flatbed showed up, it started right back up, and I drove it onto the flatbed. Like,
wait, it turned off from 80 miles an hour to 0.
Turned off. I coasted over. Yeah. It would not turn back on. Like I have power, and it cranks, and it like sputtered a little bit, but like it wouldn't fire. So I was like, okay. So I called the fucking tow truck, but then when the truck came, it started again. So there's something with this ignition box. It's like that Bosch Jetronic shit.
Yeah. Right.
And so there's something with this ignition box. And Eric at GTO Engineering was trying to explain it to me. The output of the fucking box and these like amperages. I'm so bad at electricity. I don't get it. And so he's looking through shit, and he found like the connections on the fuel pump were kind of corroded. He replaced those. That could have conked it out.
Oh, yeah.
Or it could have overheated, or could have overloaded. And like he checked all the, I don't know. So far, like he found a couple things that like he did that stuff, and he's gonna wait and try and drive it again tomorrow and see what happens. Like, I don't know. It's not a big deal. It's just It literally was like running. This is a beautiful day, and off. Like,
right.
And it was like, oh God.
Dude, I'm learning how complicated cars are because I'm working on mine for like a week, 2 weeks now. But one of the things that someone suggested, could be wrong, led me down a rabbit hole, and it was like if your Vano solenoid goes out, and I looked at what that meant, and the repair is easy. But it just shows you how difficult construction of cars are, because there's like 6 pins in there that are basically like an electrical connection.
Yeah.
And the way to repair your solenoid is you just need to epoxy those in, because they basically wiggle loose like a toothbrush tipping over on a counter.
Yeah.
And it's like a thing in the engine, and the epoxy they used doesn't withstand the heat, which is dumb because it's in the fucking engine. But the people's fix was like, just use high temp, epoxy, and then it's fine. But just that little tiny thing could come loose and your engine turns off.
Yeah. And so I don't know what it is. I drove it onto the flatbed.
I mean, is it where is it now? Is it?
It's at GTO.
Okay.
And they know about Radwood, and I'm like, please, can you? I like, the problem is with a fucking Countach, like, there's no such thing as rushing. Like, you can't rush someone, and
Get my Countach fixed.
Seriously, like, and I'm not complaining. I'm very privileged that I have been afforded the position in life to earn the money and all to own this car, to buy this. It's fucking cool.
Yeah.
It's really, to go into my garage and go, oh yeah, like, and just see it sitting there is so rad. And to drive it, like, people who see it on the road are so inspired by it. I drove it to that picture Zach pulled up before was from Race Service. I went to their Cars and Coffee, and like 24 people came out and were like, I've literally never seen one of these in person. And we're just like, every inch of it, it's just so amazing.
It really is. I mean, that car, there's such, I mean, especially, and if you were at a certain, I mean, I just happened to have been a certain age at the time that it came out.
Yeah.
So like,
I'm at the very tail end of it, but yeah.
But that's the thing is, like, I think even if you're older or younger, I don't think it matters. I mean, that car is so special because of what it looks like and
There's
something about it.
Well, you can even like I wasn't necessarily there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you look at the cars that were being produced in the 70s, and then you look at the Countach, you just go, Jesus, that's different.
Yeah. And then you think, like, if you want to go down the rabbit hole and you go, well, Marcello Gandini basically invented that whole design language. Yeah. That from the Stratos all the way to,
it's the wedge shape that's just it's really carried. It's some people I think it's aged fucking really well. I think it looks so cool. And the fact that it is particularly nice to drive, I think, is a real bonus. It sounds crazy. Mine has an Albertoni exhaust on it, so it sounds super crazy. Yeah. It's so fucking loud. I mean, it rules. It gets great, and like
it's a great engine. It's torquey. It's not hard to drive. It's not like the flywheel is so light that it's not. It's
no. It has a good inertia.
Real good inertia. Yeah, it's a really. The only problem with it is sight lines, but whatever.
Yeah, I almost hit a Camry. The blind spots are really bad, and I was just driving up Pacific, and I just couldn't see a car, and almost like merged into it, and I need to be a little better about looking. I mean, it's like I have to do some really wonky shit to look out of it, but they'll fix it up. The problem that it had was not a big one. It was double inconvenience because it was on a Sunday, so I had to flatbed it home then flatbed it the next morning to GTO. But I got Haggerty Plus unlimited flatbeds.
Really?
Oh. Haggerty Plus is unlimited flatbeds.
Really?
You have to have their insurance. You can't just get it like AAA. But yeah, all my cars are on Haggerty now. I pay for it. They didn't hook it up, but I think it's like $149 a year or something, and it's unlimited flatbeds.
That's definitely worth it.
I mean, and I think it's 150 miles too.
Wow, that's very far.
If you have an Italian car of any kind,
fuck yeah,
that's worth it.
I think AAA. I have like executive, whatever platinum thing, and it's like
that's 5 tows up to 90 miles, I think, or 100.
I get one long one because we were able to tow
long tow.
Armin's Mini from Chuckwalla all the way. I think it's 150 miles because from Chuckwalla to his parents' house in Redondo is like 146.
Oh, that's. I know that AAA regular AAA would take me from Willow Springs home. It was like 94 miles, and I could get home from Willow Springs on that if I had to. Yeah. Haggerty, no problems, no issues. They hooked it up, and flatbed came and got it.
They're kind of crushing it, those guys.
It's funny I rode in the flatbed home from the fucking PCH, and just looking at people looking at the car, was interesting. Yeah. Because when you're driving it, you see people looking at you, but not as much as when it's on the back of a flatbed.
Yeah.
It was a little sad.
Yeah, that sucks.
But it's really, really nice to drive.
I mean, of all the Italian cars of that era, right?
It's the one.
That's the one. Granted, Testarossa was in, I guess it was in the 3rd season of Miami Vice.
I mean, the Testarossas are great. You've driven Testarossas before, right?
Yeah, but
they're nice. They drive good.
They do. They drive great. I mean,
you could actually daily drive a Testarossa.
Right,
you really could. It's easy to drive.
It's refined and easy to drive.
You do not want to daily drive. Like, I don't know about you. I have to take my shoes off to drive the Lambo.
Oh no,
I can't drive it with shoes on. My feet don't fit on the pedals.
Oh, it's really funny. Yeah. No, I've little. I mean, I'm sort of the perfect little Italian size to.
No,
to
for
drive
me,
the
it's
thing.
a bit of a thing. I have to take my shoes off to drive it, and it's a little annoying.
But so, I mean, the thing was like 308s are always weird because like your feet have to go kind of sideways into the footwell. Like
no, the Lambo's not like that. My feet
like
go
that,
straight. The pedal box is just very small. I just have to take my shoes off.
But it gets
it gets tight down there. Tight. It does, but it's okay. It's not as honestly. It's not. Once I've got my shoes off, it's not that uncomfortable. And actually, there's quite a bit of room behind the pedals. So once I have my shoes off, I can stretch my left leg straight out behind the clutch pedal. So that it's not that big of a deal.
When you're just cruising.
Yeah, it's fine. And
Lamborghini cruise control.
Compared to modern supercars, it rides so well.
Yeah.
Like it has a normal car ride. It doesn't have this harsh Nürburgring fucking ride.
That's true. It's not. It's really. I mean, I guess I've never driven it at speed on a racetrack or whatever.
And why would you?
Why would you? Right, exactly. But so it can be compliant. It's almost like a GT car.
Yeah, it totally is. And it actually has a trunk as well behind the engine. It's got a trunk. It fits my gym bag.
Does it?
Yeah. It fits. I could fit
like
like
some stuff there.
No, I could 100% fit 2 weekend suitcases in the back of it. Fully could.
Wow. Sorry,
No problem.
I think
Is something happening on your telephone?
No, we were
Spinelli?
getting questions.
We're getting. Don't ignore. We're not answering questions on Twitter.
All right, we're not answering
they can go in the super chat if they have
that's
questions.
right.
That's what
Super
it's for.
chat. Screw you, Twitter.
So anyway,
go on Super Chat.
The Countach is getting fixed. I don't want to make any predictions, but I'm pretty sure that it will be at Radwood.
All right.
I'd be bummed if it's not because it's on all the posters.
That's true.
I'll be really bummed if it's not. And then my 911 needs a top end rebuild.
Oh God, fuck!
I got it back, and 3 days later, it started smoking like a bitch.
I was following that.
It was fucking so frustrating.
Do you want to have a little more
bourbon for that? Yeah. And Marco at TLG Auto is going to hook me up. He's air cooled specialist, 2nd generation. He's the man, and he's going to. But Tim couldn't even look at the car. I mean, not that Marco's is second place to nobody, but. But Tim had already done the fucking motor, and so I at least wanted, it's this little drama with the Porsche shops. I had to have a conversation I didn't really want to have.
Oh, okay.
About, like, I'm sorry, someone else is going to be working on the car.
Yeah.
But Tim couldn't even look at it until mid-January, and I was like, well, that's not going to work for me. So
no.
The day after Radwood, I'm dropping it off at Marco. He's going to do a fucking top-end rebuild because my valves are shot.
Really? I don't know. I mean, valves and 911. It's like that. I've never owned a 911. I've heard of the valves. The valves
it's once every 100K.
Yeah,
it's every 100K.
Yeah.
That's and I have 94,000 miles on the car. So
so it's this. All right.
It was like expected, but like.
Oh wait a minute, because that's
this.
But
not yet.
But not yet. But that's right. I forgot that you got. By the way, that color is still my fucking favorite
it's
color.
the best.
The bus seats, that means something to you.
No,
I'm not going to touch it.
You don't like it?
I mean, I like it. I think that I would. I would have a seizure every day if I.
You don't look at it. You look out the window.
I know. No. It's fine. It's cool. I think it's conceptually a fucking dead on piece.
I think what I was going for is, as you say, a conceptual.
Right.
It's like. It's an exercise in excess.
Right.
Like, it's an off-road 911. It's fucking metallic purple. Like, it has big tires. Like, why not have a completely obscene interior?
Exactly.
The door cards look like what you see when you wake up on the floor of a bowling alley.
Yeah.
Like, what
It's
happened?
like, I have passed out on the floor of the Trump Casino Hotel.
But the funny thing
wow,
about
this
it
is comfortable.
The funny thing about it is, like, then you start to wonder. Like, I always go down the road. Like, I start to wonder, like, who designed the bus seats?
Oh,
Like,
I'd love to get that guy on the podcast.
So you go like,
well, that pattern is designed.
We need more shapes. We need more shapes.
It's designed to hide stains.
But really?
Yeah. Because if you imagine you spilled a little something on it.
It is a bus.
Like people fucking treat them like shit. So if you have this very busy, loud pattern, it would hide a stain or something. Well,
that makes sense.
That's what it's about. Yeah, that really is what it's about.
Wow. So that's cool. So there it is. Yeah, I honestly, like, Lee. Lee. First of all,
he just sent me pictures of his new car. I don't think I can. I don't want to post them yet, but his newest one is number. I think mine's number 13. He just finished number 14.
Oh my god!
And it's a turbo. Oh, it's a 930. It's a fucking turbo.
Amazing. By the way,
it's rad. It looks really cool, but he told me it's a 4-speed. So it's got those long ass. Those long. Pull those pictures over so other people can see.
I was looking for interior photos.
Oh, you got to keep going down. Keep scrolling. Keep scrolling down. It's a 930 and it's a 4-speed, so it's
like
at least
78, 79.
I don't know the year, but it is a 4-speed. And so Lee said he said when you're on the dirt, I was like, but like on the dirt, you like never get out of first gear. It's like geared to like 50 in first gear. And he's like, yeah, it's great. You never get out of first gear on the dirt. It's like, you just leave it in first. You're golden.
Wow. He's got a point.
He's like, it's got all the power in the world. You just leave it in fucking first.
I want to say something about the Safaris. Is that there are people that I haven't seen in years that have texted or tweeted me, like direct tweet or whatever the fuck you call it, who are not car people, who are obsessed with the Safari 911. Like, just not even someone who would even care about a regular 911.
Well, I think it does transcend a little bit because, first off, the visual of off-road plus sports car.
Right.
It has sort of a Matchbox car kind of feel to it with the big wheels and stuff.
Oh, I had so many micro machines that were like giant tires and tiny, Camaro body or whatever.
Yeah. There's a real visual play to it, and also with the bash bars and the fog lights. Like, it really...
It's an RC car kind of.
Totally, it actually looks like an RC car. It's a very striking thing. It's like a Baja kind of deal.
By the way, I get Baja bug. So Scotto and the Hoonigan guys have that Baja bug. But I've been obsessed with Baja
bugs, really?
But I want to do it with something else, not a bug. But we can talk about that.
What? Yes.
But like, what do you Baja other than a
911 or a bug?
Oh, look at that thing!
Their bug that looks pretty fucking cool.
That show that they did where they the scumbug when they went down to
they asked if I wanted to do a video with that or the shit car.
Oh,
yes,
which are those two cars in that picture?
Yes,
I mean, yes to both.
Yes to both.
But obviously, like,
I said, what would I do with them? He said, set them on fire. I was like, okay, cool. That sounds fun. I've been watching their show.
No, they better not set it on fire.
Have you watched their Amazon show?
No, I haven't had a chance
good.
yet. I heard honestly, like Scotto, who I worked with and who let me edit the magazine that he founded for a while.
How come we got you?
I don't know.
Remember from Twins? You mean I got the crap?
Wait, are you saying I'm the Danny DeVito of this? I'm the Danny DeVito, and he's
we are related.
We are related.
Yeah, for the regular listeners, Spinelli worked at 0 to 60 magazine when Scotto was running that joint.
Yeah,
the branches all weave back together.
It's the branches are. I mean, it all comes back to Jalopnik, really, because I was doing Jalopnik, and Scotto said, "Hey, we're starting this magazine," and I looked at it and I was like, "Wow, this magazine is fucking amazing," but I had to come up with some one little negative thing to say about it. And I don't even remember what it was, but I said one little negative thing, and Scotto hit me back, and he was like, "What do you mean this it does that?" Or it's like you took the obvious, something. I made some sort of really minor thing, but Scotto as a creative person, as I do all the time too, focus on the one negative thing.
Yeah, no, he's a genius.
Yeah,
and
he really
their
is.
Amazon show, the Gymkhana Files, is really
I got to
good.
sit down and watch
Yeah,
that.
they have figured out how to make the behind the scenes video way more interesting than the video.
Yeah. Yeah,
honestly, it's amazing.
That was
Ken comes off really good too. Ken comes off as not that he ever comes off bad, but as far as racing drivers go, he comes off as very dynamic and authentic and a man with a range of moods and
right.
vulnerable, but also fucking gung ho. It's really good.
It's a good documentary. I mean,
that's really good.
That's the thing about a documentary.
I don't like anything, and I think it's good. I think everything is fucking garbage. I think every car show is garbage, even the ones I'm on.
I hear you. It's so hard to do. Honestly, that was the thing that Scotto and I had in common, was that we both hated everything we ever did. Although that he
I
does
can totally relate
but
to you.
he totally. I mean, he shouldn't. Maybe.
Well, after Sam Smith came on the show and I hung out with Sam, who I just fucking love.
Yeah, Sam's the great.
We were talking about how to make people give a shit about magazines again.
Yeah.
And what would we do to get to start a magazine that people would actually want to buy? And we were thinking about, have you read The Road Rat yet?
I've seen it. I haven't read it.
The Road Rat's really good. That's
good.
A good starting place. And it's sort of 000, but not Porsche. You know what I mean?
Right,
It's really good quality pay. I hypothesized that you could have a magazine that was $25 an issue quarterly, but it looked almost like a coffee table book.
Oh yeah, that's 100% of the thing.
You know what I mean?
It's got to be something that you will keep on your shelf
for years.
Yeah. It's a book. It's basically a small little coffee table book.
It's a paperback coffee table book. Is what
great
it is.
photography.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I think that's the thing that I miss the most about working in the magazine thing is that. We used to. The great thing about 0 to 60 back in the day is that we used to get people from all over the place. I once did a thing where I took an STI down to West Virginia, and we were racing like those dirt drag things with the scoop treads and
like tractor pulls.
But it was just like the dirt drag or the sand drags.
Yeah. Pull that up, Zach. This is the Road Rat, but like scroll down because I want to see some of their photography because like they have. Keep going down. Is there more? So look at that picture of the SL on the top right there. See if you can scroll right because there's a couple pictures. Like there's literally a picture that is a double page spread on a huge magazine of Lewis Hamilton crowd surfing.
Oh wow!
And all of it is the crowd except for this one little corner that's Lewis. You know what I mean? Like where they let the photography breathe in these massive spreads. Like I haven't seen that in years.
No, and that's the thing is the thing I was going to say is when we went down there, we brought a photographer who was a music photographer instead of a car photographer.
Yeah,
and he just got the coolest shots. And we did this spread of just like really compelling imagery, and that's the thing. It's like. It's really about the artistry of it.
What's this guy doing with the charcoal thing, Zach?
He painted the cover.
Oh, that's cool.
The cover of Lewis. Scroll up. It was right there.
The cover. And then this is him doing it in
that article on Lewis I read. It's like 10 pages. It really made me want to like Lewis Hamilton. It did. I felt a lot of sympathy for Lewis Hamilton after reading that.
I mean, I don't know him, so I think he's like an amazing driver. He's coming up on Schumacher's record, and people give him shit, and I don't understand why.
He's real good.
The car is really good, and that's a problem with F1, but like that's not his fault. Like the people that are competing with the top level
there's
cars.
An article about the Seiko 6139.
Look at that!
I'm telling you, there's an article in this magazine. There's an interview with Lewis Hamilton. There's a history of Ferrari's use of the term BB, and BB was actually for Brigitte Bardot.
It's not really a boxer.
No,
it's sort of.
They had to come up with Berlinetta boxer to make something fit. Because it was the designer of that car.
I want to
was
call
inspired by Brigitte Bardot.
He's not French. He's
Brigitte Bardot.
Brigitte Bardot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Look.
And there's an article on the Seiko 6139. There's a whole history of the Mercedes SL. Wow. Every generation. It was such a neat thing.
That's cool. Yeah.
I think there's I feel like if you, me, Sam, Scotto, Jack, Travis.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
had a magazine. It could be fucking awesome.
That's not a bad idea to sort of do an ad hoc kind of sort of crowdsourced magazine of people that we know.
Oh, crowdsourcing it might be I wonder if that would work. Who the fuck would give us money?
Who would give us fucking money? Honestly, I mean, there's so many great photographers. I think that's the thing that I think gets me.
Larry Chen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Larry Chen in there.
That's the thing I think that gets me the most about how everything's gone digital is that the working with. I mean, I think I learned a lot about seeing things by working with photographers because it's like I would be driving a car and then they would be looking for places to shoot it, and and then from the things that they kind of. The way that they saw the car and the places that they wanted to put it kind of made me think about the car in a different way in a lot of times. And it's really honestly, that's why magazines were so great. The great magazines were so great at the time.
And I think they have such a permanence to them, the good ones that digital doesn't have. And that's unfortunate.
That is very true.
You know. Drive anything good recently?
So I was going to bring up the G70, the Genesis G70, because you just had it.
Did you have one too?
I did. Did you drive the manual yet?
No, I drove the big motor automatic, but I fucking really liked it.
All right, I drove the small motor automatic, and I fucking really liked it too. It was it's really good, and I think I haven't driven the 3.6. Is it 3.3?
3.3. Yeah. The 3.3. Here's what's awesome about the 3.3.
What was the 3? Did Hyundai did an old 3.6? Was that the one in the? Oh no, that was too big.
I don't know.
What was the one in the Genesis Coupe?
Oh, that was a 3.6.
Yeah,
non-turbo. That was an NA 3.6.
Right.
This is a twin turbo 3.3. What was really nice about it was, especially below 4,000 RPM, it was slicker and smoother than almost any other V6 I've ever driven. Like it had it had vibrations like an inline.
Oh wow.
And you know how V's are kind of like gruff and rough? This didn't have that. Although when you got up 5 to 6.5, it developed that, and that's not bad, but like it became a V6 up top.
Right, it was the oscillations were the
right,
resonance
but
was,
down low it felt like an inline.
Wow,
and that was really
that's
nice.
Cool,
really really nice, and it was fucking fast. Yeah. I mean, really fast actually. The gearbox was responsive. It listens to you. The steering was good. I thought the build quality and the materials were excellent.
Yeah.
Like such a nice car.
Yeah, it really
such
was.
A nice car.
All of those things. I mean, the 2-liter was just the problem with the 2-liter. I think it's smooth enough, but the problem is the chassis is so good that the engine isn't special enough to kind of match with it. So you sort of wish that you had like the BMW 2-liter. Or like I guess I mean of all the 2-liters right now, I think probably the BMW is the one.
So if with the 3.3, if you leave traction control on, it uses this brake vectoring in the canyons that's sort of intrusive and not great when you start pushing it hard. If you turn that shit off, I don't think it has enough for your tire because it wants to kick the ass out like constantly.
Wow.
Like it really wants to oversteer a lot. And it makes it pretty fun, but it keeps you on your toes. but I'm
looking forward to like the sport model rear-wheel drive only because I think
mine
it's just,
was rear drive only.
Oh, the one I drove was all-wheel drive.
Oh
That's why.
I had a 3.3 rear-wheel drive, and it wanted to fucking Dorifto. It was waiting for me to fucking just a little bit of extra because it's got 376 pounds of torque from 1,300 to 4,000 RPM. It's got a bunch of fucking torque, and it wants to kick the ass out a lot.
So that's the one. I mean, that I would say that's the one, not the Stinger. I mean, that's
the Stinger's nice.
Stinger's nice,
but this is better.
This is better. Yeah,
it's got 3-inch shorter wheelbase. And 6 inches less overall length. The only reason to get the Stinger over this is rear seat room. Right. That's where the length comes out of.
Yeah.
But it's got a more than big enough trunk.
Yeah.
Tons of room in the front.
Definitely upscale looking compared to the Stinger.
Super upscale.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Really like.
I mean, it's really the quilted door cards and stuff are really nice looking.
Fantastic.
And I think the whole interior design and the gauges are really good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's as if they went to they reverse engineered Audi. And then they said, okay, what about BMW can we take? And like honestly, like I really like the design. And the only criticism is that it does look like what the 3 Series should have looked like if they had only pared down that design a little bit and taken some of the bulk out of it.
Exterior, interior.
Exterior.
Oh, okay.
Interior is more Audi, right? Don't you think?
Interior is more Audi. Exterior is a better Infinity.
Ooh.
I think it's like a better a more restrained Q6, Q50, Q50, whatever the fuck.
Not quite as curvy, not quite as out of
not
control.
quite as sharky, but like
with fewer of those the surfacing on the bottom,
flame surfacing.
Well, it's kind of like with they've done all that the carve-ins and the what do they call that when the two surfaces come together at a real sharp point?
I don't know. I'm sure there's a term for it, but I don't know it.
Johnny would know that term.
He probably fucking would. He's been going on these like Instagram lectures.
I know. He's actually I've been enjoying
Instagrams.
I've been enjoying his Instagram lectures.
Yeah, I mean, he really has a a lot of typing to do.
I can't do that. It's
thumbs,
too.
It's a lot of typing on a phone.
I'm too old. My thumbs don't do that anymore.
But it'll be an interesting test because like, okay, they got the Motor Trend Car of the Year. Okay, my review is about to come out and say it's great tomorrow, right? Tomorrow, yeah.
Oh.
There's a little issue logistically with my review, and Zach did a little editorializing over it. It's pretty funny, actually. There was something flopping around that I couldn't find.
Oh no!
And Zach did a lot of lower thirds fun.
Oh, awesome! Lower thirds are like the greatest invention.
I told him like
videoing.
he needs to fucking editorialize the lower thirds. Can we pull?
I spent like 2.5 hours on it.
Did you?
Wait, can we pull it up? Can we give the people a little teaser of it? I think we can.
Is that little Zach? Where's that shot taken at your bar mitzvah? Where is that?
That was today.
That was my magic shot.
Wait, I think we can do it. We can do a tease of it today.
But your hair was shorter then.
That was
earlier.
That
today.
thing that popped up was literally today.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the commercial.
Yeah. Here, wait. So, where's Zach's?
Do you want audio and everything?
Yeah, sure. Just play it for a minute. What happened there? We have no audios.
Where's our sound?
We have no sound. What'd you do? You fucked it up. Oh, there
here we go. You riding the fader?
It's a lot in a pretty wide power band. The engine also.
Oh, you hear that?
Whatever's down here is.
See, there's me Here's me trying to fix some shit.
I don't want you guys listening to things flopping around. The engine's also very smooth, especially in
See,
the
it is very smooth. Also, your boy's mobbing a little bit, isn't
Damn.
it? Damn. Fucking guy's dipping.
Rough and rough. They have this frequency that's like a grumble, and not really in a good. Jesus.
Here's me getting frustrated with the thing I can't.
What is it? What's down there?
Well, I'll give it away right now. The problem is, it wasn't. It really felt like it was coming from the armrest, right? So look, here's me just fucking with all this shit, trying to get this stuff out. As it turns out, it was in the glove box, not the armrest, and I never found it.
You put it all in the hat. Harry Potter's hat pops up.
This 3.3.
And then wait, and then Zach just starts fucking throwing some lower thirds in there.
Almost like an inline 6.
It's just amazing that it kept happening.
Wow, this looks kind of fast on video, doesn't it?
It does.
Really looks good.
But it's nothing like.
I like that you went. I mean, you've done this for a long time, but the 60, you're at
60 FPS.
60 looks really good.
It gives it a more I don't know,
more realistic kind of. Yeah, it just looks. It looks like you're really there.
Now.
There it goes again. It says Zach put up a quote. It says the hat failed, but that foolproof.
That idea is foolproof.
That idea is
Hindenburg
foolproof.
engineer number 4.
Okay, I don't want to see anymore. I want to be surprised tomorrow.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh my God! Watch my Genesis G70 review. Zach's editorializing is fantastic. I knew he would come up with some genius shit.
It's a good time.
That's why I picked up the check at Sushi for that.
Wow,
that genius.
I gave you $30.
You did give me $30. Why did you give me $30? I didn't ask you for $30.
We'll talk about it later. How did you find the steering in that car?
Better than Audi's.
Mm-hmm. I felt definitely better than the last M340i I drove.
Yeah, and better than the non-M BMWs.
I mean, the problem is all the active steering sucks. I mean, I've yet to get a real active sort of, changeable ratio, whatever they call it.
The variable
ratio that actually. So if you get the one without the variable ratio, I mean, on any other car, it's great. But like that car, it's so simple because I think the boost is linear, right? I mean,
some of them like change at a really like defined place.
Right.
Like I don't, it's weird. People complain about it more than I do. I don't have as much of a problem with it as other people do.
Variable ratio?
Yeah.
I don't mind. What I minded in that car when I drove it, but when I drove it, it was Alaska and Canada, and it was much higher speed sweepers, and it felt like under light to medium throttle, it would get the front would just kind of it was hinting toward washing out. We weren't going super fast. We weren't overdoing the corner. It's just like I could tell the chassis was really good, and the back end felt really planted. And I was like, ooh, when they finesse this front, it's going to be real good.
You also
it wasn't
had the
a
all-wheel drive
thing.
one.
We also had the all-wheel drive.
That could I don't know about this car. I haven't tried the all-wheel drive. With the BMW, like the 2 Series I drove, like the M235, I drove an all-wheel drive and a rear-wheel drive. There's a massive difference.
Really?
Massive.
Okay.
So the rear drive one, I thought was really good. Like I pushed it pretty hard, and it was pretty balanced. I did not have a lot of complaints. I mean, I thought it could probably use a little more tire at the rear, but that's a mild complaint for a normal car. Overall, dude, if people get past the fact that you have to explain to everybody what you're driving, you know what I mean? It's not an instant status symbol like buying an M340, whatever the fuck.
Well, so what do you think about the sedan thing? Because I wrote a thing, I just we do this thing at the drive called it's just Critic's Notebook, where it's just like you just take what's basically out of your notebook and then just put it on the page as sort of if you only have a couple of days to be with a car. The thing that got me wasn't the car itself, was the environment in which it was released, right?
Like where sedans are dying.
Sedans are dying. So it's like there are all these great sedans, but nobody's buying any of them, right? I mean, like the Giulia is a good car, right? Like even the 2 liter.
Are they not selling those? I see a bunch of them in LA.
I mean, they're around, but like it's off to kind of a slow start.
Yeah.
The Jaguar XE.
I haven't seen any of those.
I haven't seen any of those.
The
things.
F-Pace is great,
right?
And it really just DOA'd the XE, didn't it?
Right. The XE had a very similar chassis dynamic kind of feel to the Q70, right? I mean, it was similar to kind of ATS-ish, a little bit light on its feet, kind of not real ponderous.
XE was pretty good.
Yeah, the
pretty good. I drove that car for a couple of days when we were doing web commercial stuff for it, and it felt very eager to go through corners.
Yeah.
It was a fun, and I was
it
like,
actually
this
was
is pretty damn
It was
good.
probably a little bit more eager than the G70. G70 sort of feels a little more compliant and sort of just planted and
Did the 2-liter have the adaptive suspension?
No.
See, mine had the adaptive suspension,
right.
which I liked because, unlike most people, they narrowed the range in the suspension. So they really found a good sweet spot. Like, I like what Lexus does in not having adaptive suspensions. They just find one good sweet spot, and it tends to work pretty well for everything.
Yeah.
This one, they made it adaptive, but it's not a huge... It's not big wallowy in comfort and then super stiff in sport. They tightened the range.
Right, sure.
So it's only a very subtle difference, but they did a pretty good job with it.
Well, I mean, the problem with the 2-liter is that it's a single stage, damping, right? So but the tune is excellent. I mean, it's compliant, spring rate's good. Like it just feels like a really well chosen bunch of settings, right? But the problem is that when you go to normal mode, it just slackens everything because it doesn't touch the suspension because it's not variable.
Right.
So all it does is it just kind of loosens up the steering, kind of makes the transmission a little bit lazier,
Yeah.
and it just so keeping it in sport mode kind of feels like that's its native mode, and everything else is just like trying to so grandma doesn't drive off the road. But like it's
Focus RS you had to put in sport mode otherwise it felt like a fucking turd.
It's probably very similar to that. Yeah.
You had to have it in sport mode every time you got in the car.
Yeah.
I can't recall a single time I drove that car in normal mode. 2 years.
Wow.
Not one.
I just read your piece, by the way. Very good in Road and Track. It was
yeah, go check out my article in Road and Track, the long-term wrap-up of Focus RS. Yeah. I actually talked about, a lot of it focused on how terrible the seats were.
Yeah, what the hell? What the hell happened to the seats?
The seating position is all kinds of fucked. Someone sent me an email. His name is Rob Belena, and he said, I just finished reading your article about what it's like to own a Focus RS. I was struck by the article because I also own a Focus RS, also tuned by Mount Tune, also which I love dearly, but also had to almost sell because of the seats. I'm 6'4", in addition to not fitting in the seats with my helmet. The shape and rake of the seats, as you put it, were instruments of torture. Correct, Rob. He spent months researching, experimenting, and talking to people at Ford to find a solution. And he was successful. I was able to procure a full European spec interior, including the Recaro bucket seats, coupled with the JCR lowering brackets available in Europe, which makes the seating position perfect. The seats are 4 inches lower at the front and 2 inches lower at the rear than the stock U.S. seats at their lowest setting, and even the bolstering is less aggressive.
Oh, wow.
I was able to rig up the seats in a way so there are no airbag lights, no errors, and the airbag system still deploys in the event of a crash. I made a lengthy post on focusrs.org about how to do it. Yeah, and so I asked him, how much did that cost and what did he, quote, rig up? And here's where it gets fucking scary. The front and rear seats were $3,000 plus $1,000 to ship.
Oh.
The JCR brackets were $500 to ship, and the shit you need to trick the airbag system was less than $20.
Oh, well.
So
that sounds safe.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I mean, it might be fine. Yeah. It might be like the thing that you hook up.
Look, if I owned my car, like I leased my car. You know what I mean? So for me, the idea that I would spend fucking $5,000 on seats is crazy.
Wow.
But for someone who does own their car, and he sent me pictures, and he does indeed have the Euro spec RS bucket seats, and they look rad, and the rake of the seat looks better, and
he's
good for this guy.
Tall, what,
he's
6'3"?
Taller than me. He's 6'4". Wow. Yeah, he's taller than me. So there is actually, apparently, I may write a little follow-up piece for Road and Track based on this. There is a way to fix this.
But that kind of sucks.
It's a real issue. I can't believe it made it out of fucking QC like that. Wow. I honestly can't. It's terrible.
That's amazing.
So I sold the car. And it's gone now. And now I have a Safari 911. Yay.
The end. Although, by the way, by the time you got everything done, including the who did the wheels? 1552.
Yeah. Great wheels.
The wheels were fantastic.
Yeah.
The wheel, I mean, I was nostalgic for the fucking but both
it's
the
Integrale wheels.
The Integrale wheels. But
pull up that picture of the wheels, Zach. It's right there. It's right there in the article. Yeah.
They reminded me of those old Aero wheels that the Audi touring cars had. In the,
they're 80s. Slightly DTM-y. Yeah, but they're sold as they're repros basically of the Delta Integrale
they definitely
wheels.
Are. Yeah, they definitely are.
I thought they looked great. I was never a white wheel guy. If you asked me 3 years ago, if you said in 3 years you're going to have a car with white wheels on it, I'd be like, go fuck yourself.
I think I did ask you that.
No way. But actually it worked out. They happen to look really good with the blue.
Yeah. By the way, and again, you said it, but that is the best looking blue.
It's the best paint color, I think, of any modern car. I mean, it's and no photos do it justice. None. Because it's really about the depth and the sparkle. Like there's a real sparkle to it that doesn't translate into photographs at all. I mean, it looks good in pictures, but it's not the same.
It looks like grabber blue in photos.
Way better. Grabber blue is a flat color.
Right.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
No, it's fine.
You're right.
But in photos, it looks like grabber. But when you look up.
But at close in the sun, you go, holy shit, really? It's wild.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, they're 100% they lost money on every car they painted that car.
That shot strangely captures it a little bit.
Well, it's got like some HDR happening, and so it captures the depth of it, but it doesn't really does it maybe up right by the headlight capture a little bit of the sparkle? Maybe. Pull that picture back over.
It's hard to really tell.
It is hard to really tell. That's Andrew from 1552 took that shot. He rules.
Actually, we can do this.
Oh, yeah. There you go. And you could punch in probably. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I think it does. That's
a little better than...
It captures better than most. That's a good picture. Yeah. If you fit in this car, it's a fucking great car. It just, there's a lot that was right about it, but just if the seating position's not right, if you get out of the car in pain, who fucking cares what the steering is like or what anything is like?
Exactly.
If every time I get out of it, I go, oh God, And even in the 911 with those super buckety seats, like I don't have that issue. Even in the fucking Countach, I don't have that issue.
No, the Countach is super comfortable. I mean, honestly,
it's not bad.
It's really not bad. I mean, if you're my height, it's fantastic. But I mean, for you, it's probably if you take your shoes off. But the seats are. I mean, it's
those molded curved. It's very funny. The seat is just curved up against that bulkhead. It's very fucking funny.
I mean, the Italians, man. I don't know. Like the Italians in the. They didn't really change that car that much, other than the engine and stuff. But
over the course of its life?
I
don't think its interior changed at all.
The interior probably didn't change.
Not until the anniversary. They redid it for the anniversary, and they made it much. They got rid of the round seats. Zach, give me a picture of the anniversary Countach interior, because it's different. They got rid of the curved seats and they made the seats very square. And pull that up. They really made the seats worse. So second row. Yeah, second row on the left.
There you go. Yeah.
So if you look at this, these seats are almost the same as like those Lotus Esprit, really flat, boxy, shitty seats. Yeah. There you go. Right on the second column. They're tan down there. Yeah. So you see those seats. Yeah. Those are they're real boxy. Yep. Right? So that's the anniversary seat.
Oh, man.
And if you go back to a picture of my car, you can see the really lovely curved...
Well, you have the black interior?
No, I have tan. I have the lovely curved seat.
Let's see.
Keep going down. Which... No, it's not the good picture. If you keep going further, where the picture of me at Whole Foods with groceries on the side. Look at that. The groceries are covering up.
That's unfortunately.
Anyway.
By the way, I am fucking addicted to coconut water. And I'll tell you this. Wait.
All right, how's your shits? Are your shits nice?
They're perfect. I'm just gonna. Well, I don't want to derail the entire conversation by talking about this, but
this sounds important.
I started drinking. What's it called? God damn it! What's it called? It's harmless coconut water.
Is that the name of the brand?
Yeah. It's
That's
so
fantastic.
expensive. I just bought a $50 case of fucking coconut water. It's so good. It's pink because of the antioxidants.
Oh, is it what Naked? Is that the company or something?
No, it's Harmless. Harmless is the name of the company.
Oh yeah, that stuff's very good. I saw it in a store here once where they're definitely just hoping to fuck people, and it was $8 for it, and I'm like, fuck.
It's so expensive. I drink like a little bit at a time because
because that's what you can afford.
Exactly. I want it to last about a year, but I'm addicted to it, and I don't know what I'm going to do about that.
Best stuff before and after drinking alcohol.
I just noticed how
Yes.
Zach pulled up that into the anniversary interior as well. They also changed the steering wheel to something fucking awful as well.
Oh, right. They put that right because is there an airbag in the?
No, it's
there
not.
isn't.
But they just
It's
changed the
insert.
shape of it, and
Yeah.
mine is like a Nardi wheel,
Right.
and it's got some dumb fucking thing in it now.
Yeah.
Should we take some questions for the last half hour of this program?
Yeah.
I can't stay doing this show all night because I've been in Las Vegas and I have cats that need to be fed.
Oh yeah.
But we got a lot of questions, so now is your chance. If you're with us live, jump into the super chat right now. Me and Spinelli going to do this.
13 Cayenne Turbo.
Okay, hang on. AP says,
Sorry.
should he buy a 2013 Cayenne Turbo, a 2014 Grand Cherokee SRT, or an ML63 2014?
All right. I take the M out. I don't like any of the M's.
The ML?
Yeah. Any of the M classes are.
I don't either, and I also think AMG's SUV traction control is retarded.
Oh, exactly. Remember we drove
Remember
those?
that?
Yeah, that
Not
was
good.
Not good. It's
Not good.
just intrusive and no way to turn it off.
The 2014 Grand Cherokee SRT, I think, is the first year of the 8-speed gearbox, which is good. The older one, the one before that had the 5-speed, it was not good.
It was the God, I can't remember the name of that. What was that? It was the same one that I think is in my Jag.
Yeah.
It's the one that's in the E55, right?
It's just a fucking 5-speed slush box.
Yeah.
I would say Grand Cherokee SRT. I'm not a big Cayenne Turbo fan. My dad's got one, and they use a torque converter auto. They don't use PDK.
Right.
And for towing, but I would say go Grand Cherokee.
I think Grand Cherokee. I always liked the Cayenne GTS.
Oh yeah, gee, that was a good one. But Grand Cherokee SRTs will hold their value actually better than Cayenne Turbos.
That's probably true.
They
Absolutely,
relative to their cost, they actually do.
That's a really
SRT
good point.
cars tend to do that.
Probably cheaper to repair.
2014. All right, so I was that was such. That's funny. Like I'm nostalgic for the launch of that because I was with Jack. Me and Jack Baruth and a couple of other people were at Willow Springs. And I was trying to follow. Jack is fucking. I mean, look, Jack is fucking fast, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever driven with that
I
guy?
race with him.
Right.
Yeah.
I was trying to follow him, so I'm following him, and then he's like following the 14-year-old German DTM driver that's like leading us around. Oh wait a minute, no, I'm mixing up two things. Anyway, I can't get the SRT to do anything because I'm too scared being up there. I think my lap times in the Charger were about 10 seconds quicker because even though
just because the height of it,
I just couldn't. I was totally. I got into
It took when we were out in Colorado after the Rally North America thing, like I was doing hot laps with our SRT, and I remember it took a couple laps to be like,
oh yeah,
it's gonna tip over, and then it didn't, and then I was running down some guy in a modded CTSV.
Exactly.
He had overbuilt and undertrained and was rightfully scared of what he had put himself into.
Exactly.
But it's a little weird.
It's weird, and I just couldn't fool myself into trusting it.
I had a Trackhawk at Road Atlanta, and I was really cutting all the curbing and really just shortening the racetrack.
Right.
And it was pretty good.
But yeah,
I would
so
say
that's,
that. Okay,
that's
cool.
that one.
Wow Splat says, I have a 2000 Civic DX. Where in LA do you recommend a California legal K24?
That's a Matt question.
So I don't. That's a highly specific question. The only person I know in LA who would do a Honda swap that I would want to drive is Emmanuel at NA Performance. I've driven 3 of that dude's cars, and they fucking rule. Now, California legal, logistically, I'm not sure. Sean Morris at Top Rank IVI does all the smog legal stuff for the GTRs, and he probably knows how. But I think if it's a newer motor, right, a newer K24, and you use all the stock smog equipment, it's legal. Like
that's the only hard thing with California is you need all the smog equipment, and what they require, like air intake, shape of intake, plenum or intake piping, exhaust manifolds, catalytic converters, even the evap tank has to be in there. Now, if the parts will fit in the car, like if the size is correct for like that exhaust length, let's say your exhaust is 20 feet long and the new car the car you want to put in is 15 feet long, you're probably not going to get away with it because it's not going to fit. But if the cars are relatively the same size, you might be able to make it work. I would hit up New Age Performance, right? NA Performance.
Is that what's called New Age? I didn't know what NA stands for. I know the guy, it's NA Performance, and the guy's name is Emmanuel. And he's the fucking Honda guy.
Oh, look.
His Civic that he brought to me was crazy quick.
I've driven like 3 or 4 of his Civics that fucking rule. So that's the guy I would go to in LA for a Civic.
NA Performance?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong.
I think it originally was NA Performance because it's naturally aspirated,
Probably.
but now he's doing turbo stuff as well because the times are fucking changing. So he may have had to come up with a new, like Bridget Bardot. He may have had to come up with some new matching letters. I don't know, but that dude can build a Civic. I would go with him. Okay, next. Thank you, sir. And I'd ask him about smog legal. He probably would know. Christopher says a brand new BMW M240i or a Volkswagen Golf R.
Ooh.
What cars do you mic?
What cars do I mic? I think for this, I'm going to go Golf R.
Okay.
Look, I've always had, I wanted to like. I think the BMW, I like it. The steering is not great.
Golf R has better steering.
Golf R has better steering. I think just the sort of daily driving it, I think the Golf R is much more fun.
You know what else? There's an element of, if I had an M240i BMW, which is a great commuter kind of, it's a GT car, fine. I would always go, man, I wish I made more money and had an M2.
Right.
Golf R, you're never going to think that.
100%,
you don't ever want to buy the middle engine of a car that's available, right? Because every time you see the faster one, you go wah wah.
That's right.
Like that, I always have to have the biggest engine of the one, of the car.
Yeah.
That wording didn't come out right. I'm
biggest
sorry.
Engine
Bourbon.
of the car.
The biggest engine available for that given vehicle, right?
Right.
Because there's no substitute for factory performance.
Yeah.
None. So you always want to start with the best one from the factory, and then if you need more, you can go from there. But the Golf R is the fastest Golf.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. But the M240 is the second fastest 2 Series. Wah, wah.
Wah, wah.
Yeah.
Okay, no, good. That's
Yeah. Aaron says, thoughts on the upcoming C8 Corvette. I have no thoughts.
I want to see. Well, all right. So
I have no thoughts, but I have very few thoughts.
There's so they're gonna do the Cadillac thing too. So the engine.
Is there going to be a Cadillac also?
The strange thing about it is the engine choices. I just don't understand that they're gonna have this 6.2, right? Then they're gonna have like this 4.2,
like a 4.5 twin turbo, or something,
like
4.2 twin turbo,
4.2 twin turbo, yeah, some kind of thing like that. And then, I don't know which one. I mean, listen, they've got to keep a front engine Camaro, Corvette. They have.
You think they're gonna?
Yeah.
Have there been any C8 front engine mules? I haven't seen any.
I haven't seen any, but I think that it's more of a line expansion.
So you think they're gonna dump this mid-engine car, call it Corvette Zora or whatever the fuck?
Yeah, maybe.
And then start
keep
doing the next
Corvette
generation
Classic.
of Corvette Classic, like Malibu Classic.
Exactly.
Malibu, they're gonna keep that. Malibu Max. Is there gonna be a Corvette Max?
Corvette Max. I mean, because I think that the stuff we've heard for a million years is that they wanted to expand the Corvette brand, right. and obviously we're like 10 management teams past.
Well, is the Corvette the only GM passenger car that's working? Like Ford, right? Ford is ditching all cars but Mustang.
Right.
It's like Mustang and then crossovers, right? So is GM going to go Corvette, crossovers, trucks, but then have a Corvette, second Corvette?
Because ultimately, I mean, if you're selling cars, it's about margins, right? So you want a higher margin version of the thing that's already selling.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, they have to do a car with that can compete with, a McLaren 570.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like.
I mean, they would maybe there's an argument that the ZR1 does that. But it also kind of doesn't.
Right.
It may on a racetrack, but it doesn't really in the marketplace.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
It does.
And clearly they have to do a mid-engine car. They are doing a mid-engine car, finally. Yeah. Is it going to be a Chevy or a Cadillac? Don't know.
I think it's got to be a Chevy. I mean, the Cadillac thing is interesting because they're really pushing the Cadillac Motorsports thing. I think even Alonso's going to be driving a Cadillac in.
Yeah, I saw that.
Was it Daytona?
At Daytona.
Yeah.
And a
Chevy
at Indy, right?
Yeah, a Chevy powered McLaren in Indy.
That's
interesting.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm excited to see this mid-engine Corvette, whatever the fuck it's called. It's going to be cool.
I'm just not convinced they're going to dump the front engine one completely.
Well,
it's too cheap to make.
That's probably true. Are they going to build? They're not building the mid-engine one in fucking Bowling Green, right? No way. No way.
I guess they can't, right?
They can't. No, they can't. They can't build them both at the same time.
Right, that's true.
That Bowling Green plant, man.
Oh, you were there, right? That's right.
Fucking OG. Precision never rests, my friend.
No, it does not.
Precision never rests unless you're etching glass on a sign and then you took a 5-minute break. Adita, thank you for the compliment and the donation. I appreciate that. Elitist M says 2015 Z28 or 2018 1LE for $35,000 to $40,000. Wait, what? Oh, SS1LE.
Yeah, SS1LE.
Here's the question. Go ahead, Spinelli.
No, it's all Z28 for me. I even though that, boy, they're holding their value. I think that's part of it, is that if you spend a little bit more and get the Z28 and it's holding its value, it's almost like getting a $35,000 to $40,000 car that's depreciating.
I think the Z28, which has already depreciated some, will depreciate slower than the newer car.
Yeah.
However, a Z28 on the road, which I have driven a bunch,
right, that's true,
is not a great road car. Whereas the SS has wheels and tires and suspension and is set up to be a road car that you can drive on the track, whereas a Z28 is a track car that you can drive on the road. Remember we drove the fucking Hellcat and all that shit?
You were speaking of hell,
I
you
was
were
in a
kind of in hell.
non-air-conditioned Z28 for 1,000 miles of highway driving.
I drove it back.
It was...
That's true.
Sucked.
You were on our compounds.
Yeah, no, it sucked. It wasn't fun. It was only fun when we got to the track and I could fucking lap Watkins Glen.
Wow.
On the highway, I was like, this thing's fucking miserable.
Yeah, that's right.
So I think this dude should be honest with the kind of driving he's actually going to do. And if the truth is it's a road car with occasional track use, get the new 1LE. But if it's a track car or a collector car with occasional road use, then the Z28.
God,
that's where I would
very good, Matt. That's
where I would go. JJ Moore says BMW 335i or 135i. Don't need a usable back seat. Mainly a daily driver, occasional track day, occasional through driving. I say 135.
135i, a little bit stiffer rear bar.
Is it?
Yeah, that's it. You're done.
I say 135 all day.
135 all day long.
If you don't need the back seat, get the smaller car.
Yeah.
It's the same. It's the same fucking powertrain.
Yeah.
Just in a smaller car. Just get that.
Get it.
Easy. Mark says, should I sell my 190e 2.3 16 valve Cosworth?
Oh God!
And buy a 2011 BMW 1M? Or is it premature to sell the 190?
I don't think the 190 is ever gonna. No, I hate to say this because I love the 190. I just don't think the 190 is ever gonna.
I think it would have if it was going to, because E30s
it would blow up if it already
would. Right. I think
the problem is
they're so expensive.
They're slow,
and they're slow.
They're really slow.
The 1M is so good though that I think God I would that's
I think
Sophie's choice over here.
If you can get out of a 190 Cosworth, like let's assume it's not an Evo 2 or one of them crazy ones. It's a regular 190 E16 valve Cosworth. If you can get out of that and get into a 1M that isn't a shitbox for even money, you should absolutely do it.
I just don't see how that's even money because
190 is gonna be cheaper.
The 190 is gonna. For the price of a 1M, which hasn't depreciated for
you could have. The move was to buy one of those brand new.
Oh yeah.
If you bought one brand new, you could put 45,000, 50,000 miles on it and sell it for exactly what you paid it for.
54 grand.
Right
they've never
gone under 50.
Under 50 grand ever.
A friend of mine just bought a super beater for 38.
Oh,
it had like low miles, but it was like a New York City car, and like every body panel was fucking door dinged and fucked. No. And he has a hookup at a guy, and he bought the car and he got it all sorted up. And ultimately he was into it for fucking 50. You know what I mean?
God, because of all the dent repair.
Because of all the dent repair and shit. Yeah, and it's nice now, but like
he could have just bought the $50,000.
That was the move, but that was the move then.
Yeah, that was the move then. That's a really really tough thing to sort of reconcile over here. I don't know. I mean,
1Ms are rad though.
1Ms are great.
Fun.
I think I don't see them as a 1-to-1, but get the 1M because it's fantastic.
Mm-hmm. More fun to drive
the 1M's a much better car to drive.
Yeah,
I think those Cosworths are neat little collector's items.
If you've enjoyed it for a while, I think see if you still want to enjoy it and then get rid of it and get that 1M.
I drove a Cosworth for 10 minutes and I went, oh
yeah,
all right. Yeah, they're just not very fast, and like
are they slower than an E30?
Oh yeah,
really?
Oh yeah,
that's not good.
They're probably about
slower. They're maybe the same.
They're certainly slower than an E30 M3, and they're probably slower than a 325 IS also.
Oh, I meant E30 M3.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure slower than an E30 M3. Yeah. They're not fast.
That's not good.
No, they're not fast. I mean, they look cool.
It's heavier. Than
they're
an
a cool
M3.
piece of history, but
yeah.
Whereas that E30 M3 is sort of that quintessential touring car. Like with Mercedes, it's really the hammers. The hammers are the big ones, and then they're just not. If it's not an Evo or an Evo 2, it's sort of like whatever. They're cool, but I would get a 1M. Anyway,
full-size
Y
sedans.
says, full-size sedan throwdown, S-Class AMG versus BMW 7 Series Alpina, or 760 versus Panamera Turbo. He has forgotten the Audi S8.
And he's also forgotten the Jag XJR.
He has. He's forgotten two good ones. The S8 is my jam in the full-size group. Or Panamera
S8
Turbo
is so
S.
good. Yeah, S8 all day long.
S8's rad.
Yeah, it really is.
I don't see nearly enough S8s on the road. Why don't I?
I don't know.
Mercedes rules Los Angeles. It does.
Yeah.
Is the S8 too subtle?
Probably. And you know what? Actually, because their design language on the exterior for a while, it's like, is that an A?
Yeah, it's hard to.
That's true. The A6 and the A. Yeah.
You're right. It's got the 30-foot problem where you're 30 feet away and it doesn't look very different.
The new A6 and S6 are all so big that I see them a lot and think, oh, it's an 8, and it's not.
Right.
So yeah.
I love but I do love the S-Class AMG.
S-Class interior. Remember when Alex had that one? I mean, that was coupe, but
rad.
But by the way, that was the thing.
S63 is fire, and the S63 has the seats that were designed by the spine surgeons. Remember I wrote 3,000 words on the seats. I wrote 3,000 words on a driver's seat. It was awesome. It's got the hot stone massage function.
Oh yeah,
that shit is so dope.
It's hard to say no to that interior.
Yeah.
By the way,
the S8 interior is pretty sick, but
we were the thing we used to talk about was the cars that you look down at the speedometer and you can't believe how fast you're going.
The car's natural speed. We called it. Yeah.
So I remember I was driving an S-Class AMG on like 87 from like Albany to New York, and I looked down and I was going 150.
Yeah.
I went, holy shit, this is like that's that car.
Glides.
It just glides.
Cop walks up, you're like, this is some car.
Could you believe? I didn't even realize.
Yeah. No, I completely understand that.
I was like, what the fuck?
The Panamera Turbo will have the best steering and handling.
Best driver's car for sure.
The S-Class will have the best interior and possibly the best engine.
Yeah.
The S8 is halfway between those two, I think. And the 7 Series, my dad had a 7 Series. It was a piece of shit.
I wouldn't want to get caught with that V12 off warranty, though.
No, and the Alpina has the best looking wheels. That's about all it's got. I mean,
true.
Everything else Alpina does with those cars, I don't like. The wheels rule.
Panamera Turbo outside of Germany is just, that's unfortunate.
We got one. I've had them as press cars in LA, and I've absolutely loved them.
They're great, but I want to go a million miles an hour.
Yeah, well, I took one to El Mirage. We ran. We did 185 miles an hour on the fucking dry lake bed, and it was so fast. When I did the Turbo SE hybrid launch in Vancouver, I thought I was going to be late for a flight, and I was like, look, just give me a car. I'm just going to drive myself to the airport right now. And I drove, they're really like obedient in Vancouver. Right. Like they're really like.
I remember this.
I drove like such a dickbag.
Because that was all these crazy little back roads that you had to take to get back to the airport.
I drove like such an asshole.
Oh my God.
Austin says, thoughts on 4th gen Firebirds. Those are F bodies, right?
3 F.
It's an F body, right?
I think the 6-year-old, or well, not a 6-year-old. Actually, at the time it was more like 14. But I liked them a lot when I saw them, and I think that thought is still planted.
I think they've aged better than the Camaros of that.
They have something going on.
Yeah,
at least. Like
they
I
do.
drove that Hike Camaro recently, and it was really fun and cool to drive. But you get out, and for me, I just look at the profile in the front and I go, What are you? What are
you doing?
Nothing.
But the problem again with GM products of that era are.
Don't look at the inside.
They're made of fucking Legos.
Absolutely fucking garbage. It's
all the buttons are like for old people who have giant fingers.
Right, exactly.
I think they're like, it's like a toddler toy.
How do we push that?
It's like a 2-year-old's fucking speak and spell. Speak and spell buttons.
You're doing well.
You know what Firebird I like the Firehawk.
Yes, the Firehawk. I mean,
Firehawk was the one that didn't have all the shit stuck onto the body, but it had the big motor.
Yes.
That one I was always kind of a fan of. It was always sort of tight and nice.
Was that 400 horsepower? Or
it was LS. I think it was the
LS1.
Shit, was it an LT one?
LT1.
Did they make a Firehawk in an LS one?
No.
2000. That would be an LS. 2000's LS, right? I think. Or is it 02 with the LS?
God, I
don't know.
It had enough like scoops and shapes, but it wasn't the
but
giant
it didn't have
WS6.
the WS6 had all the fucking stuff on it and all the chrome.
Oh, the WS6. That's right. That was the.
I'll be honest. I did like the obnoxious Firebird wing. The Firebird wing I thought was pretty fun.
I still think they're pretty good.
Website?
They're fun cars.
Weebee Autos.
Weebee Autos.
It's pronounced Webe.
Webe Autos. Autos.
It's German. You know what? That one I really liked. I liked the previous gen Firehawk.
Oh, is this?
That one, that was the dope Firehawk. The SLP Firehawk from like 92.
SLP, right. Holy
with
crap.
with the Coke nostrils. It had the Angry Eagle Coke nostrils. I liked that one.
This looks much more bird-like.
Yeah,
I will
super.
Agree with
it's
that.
a hawk. It's a fucking angry hawk.
Wow.
Yeah. There you go. I mean, those are the thoughts. Unpronounceable kanji name says, just to make up the ad block. Thank you. The 992 launch is going on right now. Any comment on the appearance? Do we have a picture of the 992?
It looks like a 992. I mean, I like the new badge. I think the new badge is cool. I don't like the wraparound rear lighting schemes.
I need to really examine one in person to get used to it. It seems like it's. So I saw these getting. It looks like it's got a big fucking bustle on its ass, doesn't it? What's happening at the bottom of the rear there?
There's a big panel on the rear.
It's a big bustle, right?
This was a complaint when the concept was revealed, or the renderings, or whatever it was, like 6 months ago. Everyone went, that's a really huge ass.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that was true to what it was going to be.
Play that little video clip again, Zach. It's all right. The interior looks nice. I might be able to get used to this line across the back. The front looks kind of the same as before, but they've got a real shadow on the on the bottom of the ass there.
They really do. To be honest,
Zwart has minimized.
Oh, wait a minute. Did they go back to the SC style 911 font?
Oh my God, that ass is. What is happening with the painted panel underneath the exhaust there?
Wait, I want to talk about the typefaces, Matt.
Oh, there it is. Look at that. That's a big lower ace.
It's not great.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know about that.
That 911 is one
some piece of ace.
Piece of ace.
I don't know. Maybe it'll grow on me a little bit.
I like
seems
it from
a
the
little
side.
weird.
From the side, it's okay.
Seems a little funky. I don't know, dude.
I'm waiting for the.
I saw the mules go by my house. They're on a fuel economy, route.
Yeah.
Wait. Oh, can we get a rear in the blue? Maybe is there a rear in the blue?
See the
different
side
color.
Is a bit,
Oh, so that's blacked out, right? On this one. Okay. Well, it's better when that panel's not painted. Yeah. For sure. They looked big, dude. When I saw the cars in person drive by, they looked fucking.
They are big. They are big.
But the rear splitter, whatever they. I mean, I don't know if that's an aero. That's got to be aero. But I mean,
there's probably intercoolers in there, dude. Those are probably extractors for intercoolers.
You're absolutely right. Yeah,
right?
You're absolutely right.
Next to the exhaust.
Yeah,
they probably have intercoolers on the side. And
so
extract.
I mean that it looks like very.
Porsche has a hard thing because, I know I'm a jerk about this a lot. Like all the cars look the same, but in this instance, like if the changes are subtle, but people don't like the changes, you can just get the 9912, and it's still amazing, and it's like it doesn't look like a wildly different. It's not like you took the 4th gen Camaro and the 5th gen. You're like, well, you're gonna go buy the 4th gen? No.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the Cayman T. That's the one I'm waiting for.
I mean, I bet it drives good. They know what they're doing, and they'll sell 1 million of them.
They understand it.
That ass, I need to,
Wow.
Kyle says, what car movie would you reshoot a car race or a chase to make the car action as good as the story?
Star Wars.
I can't think of a car movie where the story is superior to the car action.
Wait a minute. I can
I'd reshoot Fast and the Furious 6
3.
without the fucking without the airplane chase taking 12 minutes.
The airplane chase.
The airplane chase took so long.
Delete the iceberg submarine.
All right, wait a minute. I think.
Where's the car action bad?
Jaws. Jaws has the worst car chase. What?
You know what has a pretty good car chase is Big Hero 6.
Really?
Like there's counter steer and drifting, and like you can tell they added a little bit of drifting.
So there
in
you go. That's the one. Big Hero.
Wait,
Big Hero.
Zach,
6.
go back to my Instagram because I posted this the other day. Scroll up. There's look for the C4 Corvette video. Go down. There, left. This is from Passenger 57. Check this out.
Oh my God!
Look, he
I
starts.
remember this.
He's in a C4 Corvette from the '80s, right? He drives across Miami. He's going to lunch, right? He's going to this business meeting. He pulls up. His Corvette becomes a 93.
A 93. What the hell happened?
His Corvette goes from an 87 to a 93.
Wow!
In fucking one day.
Could you imagine, like this?
The props department.
The props department was
problem.
like, dude, the fucking 87 broke down.
Oh my God!
We need another one. Find me another goddamn Corvette.
Wow! I captioned it that his car gets a generation newer by the time he gets to lunch. Some fucking pedantic fucking no friend fuck messaged me. He was like, they're both C4s. And if it was a generation, it would be a C5.
Oh, God.
And I'd insta-block.
Oh, yeah. I'm so tired.
That's guaranteed someone I never want to hear from again.
I'm really, really tired of that kind of shit. By the way,
as if I'm unaware of what a generation is.
Are you drinking Blandon? What do you call it?
Blandons. Yeah. That was with Cameron.
Oh, nice.
Blanton's is my jam. The bottles have gone up 40% in the last 2 years since we started drinking it. They were like $55. Now they're like $85.
Damn, Jesus
for
Christ!
Yeah.
I just finished a bottle. I can't throw the bottle away because I don't know what to do with it.
That person who asked that, his name is Yong. And says Chinese is hard.
Sorry.
The guy who wanted to comment on the Porsche.
I'm just learning. Well,
that's not Chinese.
No,
that's kanji.
It's kanji. No, but sorry, I didn't mean to say that they were the same. But I've been trying to learn kanji from setting my watch to kanji, but it's not working.
It's baller.
It's not
Joe
working.
says,
Anyway.
is there anything you miss about the car industry in the past that you wish was around today?
Drunken people building cars.
What's
weird
the,
shit happening.
Imperfections.
What's the fucking Mercedes PR guy?
Jeff Day.
Jeff Day.
I miss Jeff Day so fucking much.
That
actually is exactly
the guy who was like just the notorious partying, like
dude,
crazy PR guy.
Man, that guy would like order the. I mean, he. Oh man, I do miss that guy. He's on one hand everything that's wrong with the automotive PR situation, but on the other hand, he's everything that's right.
Yeah. I went to one press launch where I won't say who, and I won't say where it was or who it was, but prostitutes were paid for on the company's dime. Yeah. And it was, I didn't do any blow, but there was probably some blow on the company's dime as well. And that I miss that being an option, frankly.
What are you saying? Hookers and blow aren't an option? Sorry,
they are, but now you have to bring your own.
Is it? I got to bring my own hookers and blow now?
Sergio Marchionne just went, excuse me.
Wait, you mean from...
No,
sorry.
I mean, what in the past it's not around today?
All right, in the auto industry, anything you miss about the car industry in the past, I think that I miss the... this is going to sound really stupid, but I miss when things weren't so efficient and that car makers were less adverse to making mistakes and doing crazy, like just because you'll never see a car like the Aztec again, because they'll have already done reams and reams
unless it's a Lamborghini
market research data. Right. Well, there's
in which case
I don't know.
See a car
we'll
exactly
see if that does, or that's the thing that does really well that we missed when they didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
Actually, here we go. I miss when car companies didn't have to build SUVs to make money.
True. I suppose. I don't think. Like if we look at what Genesis has done with this new car, which is very nice. Think about how that car is launching the Genesis brand as a standalone brand, compared to what Lexus did with the LS back in the, you know what I mean? I suppose I miss when like a company would like spend $3 billion and go, take that fucking Mercedes and you re-engineer that, you know,
right?
What GM took apart an LS 400 and just said we can't do that, right. And no one in the last 10 years has disassembled a car and go, we can't make this. You know what I mean? Like I do miss that.
Yeah. Well, I miss the era of rich car companies buying poor car companies and doing weird shit with them, like when Chrysler bought Lamborghini.
Oh yeah.
And then they learned how to build the blocks for the Viper from Lamborghini, and then they built a V10 block because they used the same sort of sand casting technique that Lamborghini was using. Like just that weird shit that would happen when car companies sort of got together.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I mean, the business is too efficient, I guess, now. There's too many really good consultants involved.
Interesting. Thanks, Joe.
I just want to retract that I mixed up Marchionne with Berlusconi.
Oh, good, because Marchionne
saying hookers and prostitutes. I was like, oh wait,
wrong Italian.
Wrong Italian.
Sean says Alfa has 2018 Giulia QVs, brand new, with $15K cash on the hood and extended warranties to 6 year, 100,000 miles.
Oh Jesus.
Worth it, or better get something else in the segment?
Wow, 15 grand
15 on the hood and 100,000 mile warranty is very tempting. However, here is what you can never get back: your time, your downtime.
Your downtime.
So if you want one and your potential downtime of it being in the shop a lot doesn't matter to you, great. They'll fix it for free.
Well, wait a minute. 15K on the hood means it's still...
Means it's 70 grand.
70 grand.
Yeah.
I mean, that's still a lot of fucking money for that car. It's a great car, but God, that's...
It's real fun. It's really pretty on the outside,
It's really
but when I got
fun.
on the inside of the one we filmed, I was like,
I like the seats.
This is like a $40,000 tune.
I mean, for 70 grand, I'd rather have that fairly basic M3 we drove with a manual and cloth seats.
Which you will probably need a warranty also, but maybe, you know.
Or the new M2 Performance.
Supposed to be very good. Have not driven.
If garage... Oh, sorry.
No, I do anything else there? Or get something else in the segment?
God, something else in the segment.
I'm not sold on any Alphas yet.
No, unfortunately, I mean, I think I would lease one. I would lease a base Giulia because I mean, a base Giulia is like the most fun thing to drive in its own segment. I mean,
really
cute. I mean, G70 sort of notwithstanding.
I think I'd rather have a G70.
I would get the M3.
Right.
I think the M3s are really good looking right now.
Smart says, if Garage 419 had a call-in show, what would you want to ask?
What would you want to ask you?
Why? What would you want to ask? How long do you expect this to last?
If I could time it right.
Recession? What recession?
If I could time it right, I'd call the day you got your Hummer and the day you decided you didn't want it ananymore.
Yeah.
Because those were very close together.
They were only about 2 months apart.
I would want to ask how you prepared the lobsters that you delivered with the Audi.
We boiled them.
Boiled them. They were boiled.
Magnum 570 says, what stock car has the best shifter feel?
Oh, I got it.
What do you got?
Hyundai Veloster R-Spec.
Really?
Well, it has the what's that? I'm just drawing a blank on the company. What the famous
Hearst?
company does that? No. It's got the
B&M.
B&M. It's got the B&M. Yeah. It's got the
yeah.
little B&M shifter. I really like it. I really like that car. I mean, it's not 100%. I think there's steering calibration and other shit that could be done, but
I have the N coming in a couple weeks.
I haven't driven it yet. I want to drive
I'm
that.
actually kind of stoked on the N. Yeah. I think most Hondas, this like Civic Type R, the Hondas have great shifter feel.
Civic Type R is a good one.
Yeah.
Aerial Nomad, but it's a Honda.
Isn't that a Honda shifter?
Yeah.
It's just a Honda,
It's
right?
just a...
Someone else, what other, Hondas.
Miata's usually pretty good.
Miata's good too.
Pretty good.
Yeah. Overall, I think Honda wins it though, in general. Honda's got the best. Tenzin says, my dream is to drive from the UK to the Indian Himalayas where I was born. Left-hand drive, manual, and fun. Big BMW Euro fan. Altitude is 13,000 feet. Maybe an E30 Touring?
Ooh. Well, that...
Sure.
I mean, that's... if you're talking about an E30 Touring for that...
E30 XI. All-wheel drive.
Absolutely. There you go.
Right?
Done.
Be very cool. Bring some parts, I think.
Bring a few
right?
parts.
Because that's pretty far. I would go Land Cruiser.
I know.
Really.
I mean, I've never been to the Himalayas. I don't know... wait, did you... did you go there?
No, we were thinking of going there for a thing.
That. We were talking about doing
We went somewhere else instead. There were a lot of...
We went somewhere cheaper.
A lot of Mahindras there, right, for rental.
Yeah.
It looked, parts of it were muddy and rocky. Actually, but a lot of the drive was pretty much just like graded forest fire road.
I mean, the good thing about the E30 is it does have that sort of overbuilt, kind of 80s BMW thing going on.
Yeah, I mean, 911 Safari sounds great.
There you go.
Right?
Safari E30 Touring.
I mean, what makes a good... What makes
if
a
you
good...
guys 54 swap an E30
wait a minute,
Touring
call
with Safari
Caswell.
shit.
We'll call Caswell.
He'll have it done in a week.
He'll have it done in a week, yeah.
Just give him a 6-pack or 30 rack or 64.
30 rack.
64 pack.
64.
Yeah,
that would be magic.
Or any if you want a BMW, just lift one a little bit and put it on rally tires, and you're golden.
Hey, this is a good one.
Wes says, I'm a blind driver. All right. I drive with special glasses, bioptic glasses. Do you think I would be allowed on a racetrack?
I think you should be allowed on a racetrack, of course.
I mean, if you can drive on the road with those things, holy shit, those things have like, they have like actual like scopes on them, huh?
That is fucking cool.
We gotta watch these videos later. They're all YouTube, so it's driving with bioptic glasses. Oh, they have tiny telescopes. Well, that's
they
not
have
tiny.
like straight like lenses, like actual lenses on them.
I mean,
I think if you're allowed on the fucking road, you'd probably be allowed on a racetrack. Now, would you be allowed on an open track day?
Yeah, that may be
probably. Actually, I can't say. I have no idea. Yeah. I've never asked the sanctioning body.
Honestly, I think the only question I would have is what does it do for your peripheral vision? Like,
right.
Do you have? Is it a limited peripheral vision? Situation, but otherwise, I think you should be allowed on the racetrack.
I feel. Oh, hey, wait! There was a guy with a helmet with one. Look, top left. There's a picture of a guy wearing a helmet. That guy's wearing them.
Yeah,
he's on a scooter.
And that's Lou.
Oh, he's on a scooter?
Yeah.
I said that's
right.
Lou Vision. His name is not Lou.
Come to Lou's Vision for your bioptic glasses.
I think you should be allowed to. You know what I would do is I would actually call around a few racing schools. Whatever your local racing school is, I would call and ask if you can enroll in the racing school with your bioptic glasses.
Yeah.
I don't see why not. I think if you can drive on the street, you should be allowed to drive on a fucking racetrack. I mean, driving on a racetrack is certainly safer than driving on the street.
Sure.
Right?
It's a controlled environment.
Yeah, cars are all going. There's no pedestrians. There's no I would say yes, definitely. But I've nenever sanctioned a race, so I don't know. Fucking Bonneville.
I know.
Bonneville welcomes you. El
Mirage.
Pick your dry lake bed.
It's like bumper bowling for cars.
Brian says, what would you do with a 964 C4? Track, Safari?
Or sell it.
Yeah, I mean...
Just sell the shit and take the money and just do anything with it. Because... I mean, let's face it, like it's a seller's market for a 964.
I agree.
Yeah, my friend Larry has a 964 C4, and it took him a lot of work to make that thing track worthy. You know, it takes a lot of changes and suspensions.
Yeah.
And true. It's an uphill battle. And ultimately, like, I drove his car, and it's a lovely car. But, like, on a track, like, it's a lot of money to make it, only kind of quick.
Yeah.
It's not like it's crazy fast or anything like that. So like, and you do not need all-wheel drive to do the Safari car. Like, it's more fun rear-wheel driving. You want to be fucking drifting it. Like, having a front differential doesn't help you in a Safari car at all. So snowmobile, unless you want to drive in the snow. That's it really.
I say bring a trailer.
Okay, yeah. John O. Twist says we're closing the.
I told him in chat a while ago.
Do we have a bunch left, or are we getting there? Holy shit, there's a bunch.
10.
Okay, these are going to be short answers. Ideal all-cars vehicle. You would camp, sleep in it, and probably take home to keep. There's no take home to keep in an all-cars vehicle. All cars to go to heaven is the second half of that phrase, and the car dies at the end. That's the whole point.
It's like the opposite of Apollo 13.
I still dream of doing an AMC Eagle, and I don't think I would want to keep it afterwards.
No, you have to do an.
I'll
do an AMC. If you guys want to do an AMC Eagle, I'm in.
Yeah.
And I will.
But now if I had to keep it, now my brain is on E30 Touring Safari with S54 swap, which is not an all cars car. It's like, that's a $30,000 build.
Yeah.
Did anybody build one of these and put it on Craigslist recently for $2,000 in Saskatchewan? No.
Oh my God, I don't know. Camp and sleep, because sleep you need some space.
The Previa really worked, man. The Previa was glorious.
You fit in a Wrangler by an inch.
By 1 inch, yeah.
I very strongly recommend a Toyota Previa.
Mid-engine, right? Or
mid-engine, rear drive,
and
great greenhouse, comfortable seats, the best. The best.
It was a good van. Real good van.
Eduardo says, better car for an LS swap.
Okay.
I have 2 projects with blown engines, an E46 330 ZHP and a Z32 300ZX twin turbo. Fix and keep stock or swap?
Oh, boy.
Boy. Both of these cars I've driven pretty much with LS swaps. They're both fun.
Really?
I was going to say
drift car.
ZHP is.
Yeah, remember that? You drove a 300 with it?
I drove in New Jersey. I drove a 300ZX with an LS swap. It was fucking fast.
Really?
There's a kit, LOJ Designs. It stands for Lion of Judah. I shit you not. In New Jersey,
Robert
makes an
Loja.
LS. They make it.
What are you trying to say?
They make an LS swap.
Robert
kit.
Loja?
Robert Loja's engine swap.
That's my engine swap company.
Of those 2, only the 300 has any kind of potential collector value, but only then when it's super, super mint. Both these cars you have $0 collector value.
I mean, the ZHP has a good suspension. I would swap the fucking BMW. Just put that LS right into that BMW and enjoy it.
Yeah, okay. Sounds fun. The Arcane Socks. Arcane Cox?
No, Can Socks.
The
Canacox.
Whatever.
Cansacox.
Thank you, the things. Thank you for the things. Oh, yes, you're welcome. Oh, Conseco.
Oh, fuck.
Conseco X. That's what it was. You're welcome. Steven says, I own a Mark 7 Stage 2 APR, but no longer need a daily driver. Thinking about getting rid of it for a weekend toy that won't depreciate as fast. 997 Porsche R33 Skyline.
Jaguar XJR.
Yeah. I don't know about R33s and their values. I think they're the least loved Skylines. R32s are on the way up, on the other hand. So... I mean, a week. I mean, these are such
very
fucking
different cars.
Yeah, and these are such general questions. Like, I don't fucking know. What do you want? Like a weekend car, a weekend toy is like, what do you want? What do you crave? Like,
I would rather daily and weekend an R32 Skyline than a 997, just because I have my dumb thoughts about Porsches all looking the same. Even though they're phenomenal automobiles to drive, it's almost annoying every time I drive one.
Right.
So I'd rather get an R32 because you sail on the way up, and when the R34s come, those will go way up, and then it'll bring all the other ones up. Whereas the 997, it's like,
there's a lot of them.
997 is a reliable thing that's going to be good.
Yeah. And they are sort of towards the bottom of the depreciation. Yeah. Like they're like an early 997 is like in the high 30s. Like they're pretty cheap.
Yeah,
like
that's
they're
a
not,
lot
and they're
of car
never
for
going to be like
$30.
$10. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like
they're never going to be an interesting choice.
No, they're not. No, they're not. But they are nice to drive.
They are nice to drive.
Yeah. So like, I don't know, if you don't mind driving right-hand drive, I would say get a great R32 over an average R33. Especially because it's a weekend toy. R33s are big and fat, and R32s are light. That's just me. Sleepy996 says, best track car for under $150,000, not a Porsche.
Corvette.
Brand new Corvette ZR1. $135K out the door, smoke everything, scare the shit out of yourself.
There you go.
Yeah. MB is Frenchie. Thoughts on getting a Lamborghini Performante versus a Ferrari Speciale? Speciale. Duh.
Any day, every day of the week, you will never, ever, ever get out of it. You'll sleep in it.
Yeah. Speciale's nicer to drive. It's more spacious. It will hold its value better. Yeah. It's lighter on its feet. It has a better end. The Performante. I mean, the Performante
is the best Lamborghini that I've ever driven. That they're the best Lamborghini that there's ever been, maybe.
Yeah.
But Speciale is a bit of a special car.
Yeah. He follows it up, said, have you ever had this occur in a car you've had? I was doing 140 in a Bentley GT Speed, then a warning about tire pressure too low for higher speeds popped up. No? No, but I would check your tire pressure. I mean, if your tire pressure is inflated to, I can't see why you'd ever have to increase your tire pressure to go higher speeds. That doesn't seem right to me.
No, but if it's a really smart computer, it might go, are you about to do 200? Like, because we go 203, like whatever the GT Speed does. It's like you need more air for that. Like maybe that tire pressure is fine for whatever it's doing, but if you're going to keep pushing it, you need it to be right on the money at 35 or 42.
I mean, it's German lawyers.
Maybe, yeah. I would check your tire pressures manually with a regular gauge and make sure they're at the spec they're supposed to be, and call the dealer and ask them what that's about. Yeah. I've never seen that before. And I adjust tire pressures far less than I really should. I go on racetracks all the time and don't fucking look at the tires.
Oops.
Last one. Bullets says, I just got a 7.3 liter Excursion. It's basically a Miata. He's right.
What?
It's the Miata of Super Duties.
I guess it is. That is that the motor that's great or the one that blows up? I can never remember. That's the giant diesel.
It's the old one.
The old diesel, the good one that people like that they want. They don't want the...
I think Matt D'Andrea and those guys tow something around with one of these, right?
Maybe.
With Corolla and stuff.
That sounds about right. But
those Excursions are still $25,000.
Jesus,
they'll never be less than $25,000.
What did Scotto sell his pickup for?
He said 20.
Jesus,
he bought that fucking old F350 for like 10. Like it was like a 95 or something, or 96.
Something, yeah. It was,
and he
mid-90s.
sold it for 20. Gosh. Yeah, he brought it over here. It's a good-looking truck.
Cole Truckle.
It's fucking gigantic. It was huge. Yeah. It was like 30 feet long, but it was a really nice looking truck.
It was cool.
It's amazing how well those early 90s styled trucks have aged.
Oh yeah, I mean the square, the less stylized they were, like before they got all rounded and weird.
Yeah.
Everybody, those are just timeless square designs.
All right, we got to wrap this one up. Thank you, everybody.
Wow.
Do you want to plug anything, Spinelli?
Well, the Drive has some interesting news coming up. Maybe I'll leave that to the imaginations of our listeners.
TheDrive.com.
TheDrive.com.
Spinelli. I have a couple stories coming out for The Drive also. I write for The Drive sometimes, and I write for Road and Track sometimes, and it's nice to not to have two mistresses.
It's fun when Matt can write for The Drive.
Yeah, Mike Spin on Twitter, Mike Spin on Instagram. Are you Mike Spinelli on Instagram?
The hell am I? I'm Mike Spinelli on Instagram. Yeah. Mike Spin on Twitter. Yeah, it's very good. Yep.
Thank you, folks. Appreciate it. Good night. The Smoking Tire Podcast is powered by Shout Engine. Get your own damn podcast at shoutengine.com. You know the fucking drill. It's easy. You just need a connection to the internet, a microphone, and something to say.
Boom.